Fintan Marybrook stood at the edge of a small dock. In front of him, an ocean spread out into the horizon. The sun was setting, casting flickering orange light with hues of red across the surface of the water. "Quite beautiful, the ascetic sea, don't you think?" Fintan asked. He heard muffled screaming behind him. He turned around and saw a pirate lying on the ground, his hands and feet bound. In his mouth, a ball of white cloth blocked nearly all of his cries for help. Fintan's eyes followed the winding rope running across the ground away from the man's legs. It was tied to a gargantuan stone near the end of the dock. All Fintan had to do was kick that stone off the edge, and the man would be sent to a watery grave. Fintan knelt down. "Now, I'm going to pull this cloth out of your mouth, and you're going to tell me your story in a calm and respectable manner. If I don't like what I hear," Fintan looked back at the rock, "I'm going to kick that rock into the sea, and you along with it. Got it?" The man nodded, his face glistening with sweat. Fintan patted the man on his bald head. "There's a good lad." He pulled the cloth out, and the man immediately began talking. "Well, you see, me and the boys, we're like heroes in the slums of Giantsbane, yeah? People knew about us because we stole from the rich and gave to the poor. Anyway, the leader of the group was Tashwin Felix. Guy was built like a cat, could sneak in and out of anywhere without anyone noticing. So, he broke into the castle at Giantsbane and stole the king's scimitar." Fintan nodded. "Not exactly bright, but brave. I'll give him that." The man shrugged. "Wasn't exactly my idea. The guy wanted a challenge." Fintan mulled it over. "Okay, continue." "Well, he came back to the hideout with the scimitar, and the king's guards showed up. They were mad too, real mad. They started killing all my friends, trying to get through to where Tashwin was. And Tashwin, he snuck out the back, leaving everyone to die. I chased after him, and I was planning on killing him for being such a coward. But then I saw he had a ship. Not just one ship either. He had a fleet of 4 ships, all waiting for him." Wait, Fintan said. "How could he have had that many ships just waiting on him?" "He told me later that he had arranged for everything to happen. The guards, the hideout, all of it. The ships were supposed to be waiting for him." Fintan nodded, his eyes wandering back to the stone nearby. He wasn't sure he believed this tall tale. "Well, keep going. I'm getting impatient," he said. "Right, so me and the boys, we jump on the ships and try to make a getaway, but then the ballistas and the cannons started opening fire. I tried to find Tashwin, but I saw him go running under the deck like a coward. He still had the king's scimitar and everything, so it's not like he couldn't fight or nothing. They were putting holes in the ships, and I was panicking. I decided to be brave, though, and I headed it in battle. I turned around, I ran toward the fray, and I didn't see where I was going, so I ran headfirst into a pole." Fintan sighed. Let me guess. You knocked yourself out cold." The man offered a weak smile. "It wasn't long, though, I promise. I'm getting to the part you wanted to hear." Fintan stood up. "Really? Because you could have fooled me. I swear, what is all this exposition anyhow? Why not just skip to the part that I need to know?" The man gasped. "Skip the whole tale? And you call yourself a storyteller?" Fintan rolled his eyes. "Fair play. All right, continue." "So, I woke up and we had made it out of Giantsbane, but Tashwin, he had news for us. He said we'd have to learn to live our lives upon that fleet of ships. There was little hope of ever seeing dry land again. I asked him why, and that's when he told me. He said that we'd been labelled as cohorts of the dread pirate Jameson Netherwave. That made us pariahs. We couldn't go to any kingdom without them coming for our heads. So, we had to stay on the water forever. So, of course, I asked him, I say, how'd they get that idea? And you want to know what he said?" Fintan fought the urge to slap the poor excuse for a storyteller. "You're not actually asking me, are you?" "I am. I wanted to make sure you was paying attention." "I am." "All right, back to it then. He said he spread that rumour himself. Thought it'd be a good way to keep people off our backs. Can you believe that? The bloody fucking idiot got us blacklisted from dry land because he couldn't keep his yap shut. I was so mad. You should have seen me. I wanted to rip out his eyes. But just when I tried to tell him what for, a giant tentacle slams down on the deck. And it was a sea beast, let me tell you, unlike anything I'd ever laid eyes upon. Oh, and it had so many eyes, way too many eyes. Eyes everywhere. And teeth too. It had teeth on its tentacles. It sliced through the ship like it was parchment. I'd never seen anything like it. I started praying to every god and titan I could think of. That's when a cannonball tore right through one of them slimy appendages. And I looked over, I couldn't believe my eyes. It was the dread pirate Jameson Netherwave himself. He took us on board his ship and taught us how to be real pirates. He's the only pirate who sails the seas around Devine. Everyone else is too scared. All the old gods, they got tossed in the drink. They're still out there. But he's not afraid of them. People say he's got Titan magic. You heard about that? It comes from the waves, deep down, from the place where the celestial forge fell from the moon in the sky. People say it's like Varak technology, but it's got magic in it too. Like a combination of them or something. Isn't that crazy? Finton had stopped listening a while ago. When silence filled the air, he snapped back to reality. Oh, right, so he saved you then? Finton asked. Yeah, that's right. Finton nodded. And you know where he is now? The man nodded again. Okay then, tell me, and I'll let you go free. The man pointed to a nearby tavern. It was so close Finton could probably hit it with a stone. He ran a hand down his face and grunted. He was right there this whole time? Finton roared. He calmly walked over to the rock and kicked it off the dock. The man screamed as the weight pulled him down the planks and off the side. The rock dragged him beneath the serene surface of the water, his last words nothing more than gargled screams the moment before he went under. Finton shrugged. Serves you right. Try to lecture me on storytelling, then waste my time with that vile excrement? No, sir, not the great Finton Merrybrook. No way! Finton brushed himself off and headed toward the tavern. He had an offer for Mr. Netherwave and his crew, one that would finally give them a chance to step upon the lands of Devine as more than just pariahs and pirates. It was also the kind of offer one didn't refuse. Not if they wished to live.